so on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Adam Humphries deep for Tampa Bay. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready. Let's convert.
Now a handoff looking right. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And that play was vintage Derek Johnson. Made a play in the backfield. In college, he did as an outside linebacker. Used speed to get to the backfield. Now, a bulked-up inside linebacker with multiple Pro Bowls on his resume.
That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
The full start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. Carr. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Quan Alexander not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And an early sack there for Tampa Bay. Charles, that is a welcome sight.
A sight for sore eyes, you might say, right? Just 22 sacks on the season in 2017. And what they're hoping, that some of their one-on-one guys can get home this year instead of having to scheme to try and get sacks.
And those 22 sacks, last in the league a year ago. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
First down, Raiders. The former Packer Jordy Nelson on the receiving end from Carr. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. And this is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to the ground, Lynch. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
Now before the punt, some movement. And I think they may be kicking from further back.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Here now, Johnny Townsend on for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Rashawn Melvin. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Carr. And Cook has it, left side. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And this is going to be incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
Now before the punt, some movement. And I think they may be kicking from further back.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So out come the Bucs now. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that?
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 26. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it. Try and create some space, some room. And it went awry, didn't it?
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Tavecchio puts this one through, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
On the return, this is Jaquiz Rogers. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first one. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding, offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Jameis to throw it. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Frosty Rucker getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer in one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's...
And this is what here in incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
Now Winston. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jordy Nelson, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation and a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
He sets to fire deep. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Hey, let's go, let's go. Hey, let's go.
Winston on 3rd and 2. Keeps himself upright. He's going to look deep down the field. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Gary and Conley. Well, we said after the turnover on downs, that's almost guaranteed points the other way. But I guess they weren't listening to the broadcast because they did not cash in for any good job to step up defensively.
We get that a lot, don't we? Where we hear a lot of people say they just don't listen to the broadcast. They feel like it works out better for them. It certainly did for this defense, didn't it? They didn't listen. They responded and shut them down.
Marshawn Lynch and the Raider offense heading back out there. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series, so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts
defense,
as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Back to the ground. This time Lynch. Good strength, but not able to get a whole lot. Tackled shy of the 10. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. On third down, they go Lynch. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you a stone's throw. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
I used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Winston now going up top. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here's Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Finding some room at midfield. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half.
And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And this is caught. Touchdown. Raiders. Lee Smith, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Second down, Winston. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Give him 30 yards there. They go play action here on first down. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. On second down, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long. Off the play fake, Winston. And now here is another.